Revolutionary salutations to the people of Zimbabwe. Comrade Salus, welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. We have seen the recent introduction of taxes, presumptive taxes by the Minister of Finance and Economic Development, taxing hairdressers, barbers, a lot of people, informal sector traders. What are your thoughts and views on these taxes? Are they just, do they speak to the values that we were talking about the developmental state that's equitable and that fights inequality?
No, thank you very much, Brother Mlamba. I think that Mthuli Ncube fails to understand one simple principle. No country in the world or in the underworld, no country has taxed itself out of poverty. We cannot resolve the problems in this country through taxation, which is why some of us are opposed to this neoliberal approach that seeks to siphon from our people. In fact, we are the second most highly taxed country in SADC region, the fourth highly taxed country in sub-Saharan Africa. So these statistics must show that we cannot continue overtaxing our people. Because when you tax people, it means that, number one, you are discouraging people from formalizing. You are discouraging innovation. You are discouraging expenditure. But you are also encouraging domestic borrowing. So Mthuli Ncube must understand that what Mthuli Ncube would have supposed to have done is to go in front of cameras and say the IMM tax must be scrapped out.
2% tax.
You cannot continue with the 2% tax because it's discouraging people to transact. It's making the cost of business very high. Ironically, he's saying
he's doing
easy of doing business. But while the major thing is still there, why should we continue to pay tax on transit? So the 2% tax must be scrapped out. Secondly, Mthuli Ncube must be dealing with clamping down on illicit outflow of our money. How much do we lose in illicit financial flows? So this is the money that we must be raising. The majority of this money that Mthuli Ncube is raising is going to service our arrears. So he's trying to please the Bretton Woods institution and the Paris Club of Lenders.
Midterm says he has paid 170 million in 6 months.
You get the
token
point.
Payments to service the debt.
And token payments, Brother Mlambo, are not yet payments. They are a sign of your willingness. you get.
So that explains why he's taxing us more.
So he's taxing us more to show.
But what implications will it have on small businesses, on poverty, for instance?
It will mean that the economy will continue to informalize. People are going to shy away from formalization. No one's going to continue registering their company. People are going to continue to trust their bricks and mortar. They're going to trust their pillows
and mattresses.
Brick and mortar beauties called the banks. So our people are going to continue living their money. So once money is not in circulation, because people are not going to formalize, to formally put their money in the banks. Secondly, what we're going to see is increase on inequality gap. Because the rich are going to continue to be rich because they're the one with access to the auction system.
That's true.
They're the one who have going to access to foreign currency.
More of it.
You get the point. The ordinary people are going to suffer. Thanks to Mthuli Ncube's tax again. Thirdly, it means that the few people within the working force of this country are going to continue to suffer. Aggregate demand is going to suffer.
And he won't collect more revenue because he's thinking of collecting more revenue through taxation. But you raise an important point.
Because people are not going to
avoid.
spend.
So this is going to cause more. So but already we're paying, someone said, we're paying over 15 taxes already.
You see.
You're saying we're one of the most taxed people on the continent and in the region. Already 15 plus taxes that we are paying, and you add more presumptive taxes on top of that. So in my view, whatever jobs that have been there, if informal like hairdressers, barber shops, commuter omnibuses, even the cost of that presumptive tax is going to be passed to the consumer. So as you correctly said, there's not going to be economic growth. Yet he predicts in the budget strategy paper, the Minister of Finance, that there will be 6% economic growth.
It's not possible.
But how will it grow when you are stifling, economic growth through massive and regressive taxes? So I don't know, where are we going in terms of our fight for a tax-just Zimbabwe, our fight for domestic resources? But someone will say, but it's a question of mobilizing resources domestically. Taxation is good. What would you say as a response to that? When you look at the exemptions that have been given to multinational corporations vis-a-vis the continual use of presumptive taxes?
Look, that's why people talk about taxing the rich. The reason why I raised an ideological question of inequality is because you can't give tax break to great dike and overtax people for buying a plastic bag.
Yeah.
Overtax people for having new hairstyle. You overtax people for buying pizza.
Overtax people for using a combi.
For way.
Yeah.
You get the point?
Yeah.
So it's a question of making sure that you collect tax from those that are earning. You get the point, than taxing ordinary people. You must encourage expenditure from the people by reducing taxes. That is what we call tax justice. To be able to balance who is making more money. How to look at the guy, this guy who has been giving people cars across the country.
Zimbra should do a lifestyle audit.
Are they paying taxed? How much are they paying in their tax? How much Zimbra has got? Because all these cars are most likely getting without paying duty. So the question is about taxing the poor. But we are called to go and ululate and celebrate Mthuli Ncube. It's a relief. Why were we paying $500 for
number plate?
So there's nothing.
There's no need to celebrate because already $50 for a number plate is too much.
It's too much.
It must be $5 or $1. Why should you pay?
Because you have to compare with all the standards in the African continent.
And look at the roads themselves where you are paying.
Why are we paying $153 for a passport?
Wow.
You get the point. So all these, I'm telling you, there's punitive taxes to ordinary people, regressive taxes that ideologically, politically, intellectually, and as patriotic Zimbabweans we reject.
So we say we reject the presumptive taxes in total, and we continue to call for taxing the rich. We draw a red line to the millionaires, to Mbingas, and say these should pay more taxes for the purposes of developing our country. Thank you so much, Governor Salos. Thank you so much, the people of Zimbabwe. See you in the next episode. Aluta Kondio.